afternoon, welcome to another video. As you can see behind me, down this small river that I do like to fish, one of the tributaries of the Avon. I've come up to the top of the stretch today because it's blowing an absolute gale. I've come where I can hide behind this high bank here, as you can see, and perhaps do a bit of roving around, see if we can catch some chub, perhaps some roach. I've got my Drennan Ultralight with me. I'm going to be doing some feeder or link ledger fishing, just light, very light feeder fishing, or running a link ledger around. Maybe a bit of a mistake if we fish any slightly windier swims. But yeah, just fancied having a bit of a row around. It's far too windy here to do any float fishing. We've got this storm, I'm not sure what the name of it is, but that's hit. And yeah, it's far too windy to do any trotting, but the river looks good condition. There's about a foot or so of visibility. We had a tiny bit of rain in the night. And this place does seem to have coloured up just a little bit. So yeah, it'd be a nice change, having fished on the Avon recently. It'd be a nice change to get up here. The Avon's fairly clear at the moment, and it can be very difficult till it starts to get dark, or certainly during the hours of darkness on the Avon, really the best time. But we should be able to winkle a few fish out of here, hopefully, with it in this sort of condition. Now, baits I've got with me, I've got some maggots, I've got worms, and I've got some bread. I'm going to really rely on bread, I think. That's going to be the mainstay. I've got some Sensas 3000 Gros Gardons fish meal free ground bait. It's a sort of biscuit base, I think, ground bait. I do prefer that on these stretches that don't get fished too much. So yeah, that's probably enough waffling, isn't it? You don't want to see me waffle, do you? Let's try and catch some fish. So as I mentioned, I've got my Drennan Ultralight. Got this set at 10 foot today. Got the extra dolly piece in, 2 foot dolly piece rather than 1 foot. And yeah, looking forward to this. I think we'll start on a lump of bread, a small feeder, one of these, which we can. It's a bit heavy actually. Let's change that. Slightly lighter one. Better. Chosen this corner swim here to fish in. Excuse the noise, the farmer's 100 metres behind me rounding up his sheep. Yeah, we'll start off on this, some good old fashioned Mr. Warburton's. Mr. Warburton's frozen in this case. Yeah, we'll just see. I'm not sure how the stretch is going to respond, being the height and the colour that it is. It's a little bit low really, but it's not a bad colour, so we'll have to see. But it's just, I just fancy getting out of that wind. It's bitey, the wind, even though it's a westerly, it's bitey. Now, we're going to have to be a bit careful here, because you probably won't be able to see it, but about an inch under the surface, just here, there's a huge, great branch, stick, log thing. So we're going to have to be a little bit careful when we're playing fish. I'm just wondering what sort of response we're going to get. It's still very cold. Oh, we're getting some bangs and taps. So it looks like the little fish are on it, certainly. That's just steadily pulled around. Nothing. Well, that's a good start. Because there's often a shoal of roach in here. But you'll notice in the previous videos, I've been struggling a little bit in the day to connect with any roach, even smaller ones, but that is on the Avon. The Avon, when it's as clear as it is at the moment, about a metre of visibility, it can be nigh on impossible to get bites when it's bright. But that's good. If we're getting some bites straight away here, that's great. I've had all sorts out of this corner swim in the past. I don't fish it that often, but had plenty of bites, plenty of fish in here in the past, but I'm getting lots and lots of rattles and taps. We'll persevere for. There we go. Blimey. Well, it's not huge, but tip just pulled around and stayed round. I think it's a chub or a chublet. Well, that's a cracking start. I hope you can see all right. Not particularly good place to film here. Certainly a chub, the way it's trying to get into every nook and cranny. That's not a bad one. Come on, you. Well, that's a cracking start. Second chuck in. That's a nice one. Wonderful. Well, looks like I made the right choice to come down here. There we go, no monster, but cracking start. Wonderful stuff. That's great. Now, blimey, you wanted that. Well, I've given that another 10 minutes, but as I often find, it's one swim, one chub. Tried a bit of worm. Got chewed in half by something small, but I think really it's going to be one swim, one fish. So we'll get moved. Well, just had to remake this swim. I don't think anyone else fished it except me. Trouble is, it's a long way off the water, so you do need a long landing net handle, which we've got today. I think I even need a back stick in here. Just to knock all the old stinging nettles down, etc, etc. Right. Had the odd nice fish out of this swim in the past. Does tend to be, or has been in the past, certainly a lot of smaller fish in it. For gudgeon, small roach, dace, that kind of thing. I've had reasonable fish as well in the past, chub and roach. Make it sound like a fish he swims a lot. I don't fish them a lot at all. A couple of seasons ago, well, last season I wasn't even a member of this club. Do chop and change my memberships. So it'd be interesting to see. I've certainly not fished this swim for certainly a season, I would think. Let's just put that in, see if anything happens. Certainly is. Tip is rattling away. Certainly does seem full of small fish. So here we are. It's cold and bitey. Really blowy down here, as expected. We're at the next swim. Just a nice little run through here. Hope you can hear me alright. It's very blowy here. And it's blowing pretty much face on, sort of towards the camera really, so it's not ideal. Right. Hopefully the tip will go flying round, hope you can see it. Fingers crossed. Next one up, nice bit of cover there. Nice tree. There's got to be a chub under there, isn't there? Got to be. This bread's in about days. It's been out, in and out of the freezer about 5 times, I think. Never mind, staying on the book, which is the main thing. Right. Swing this out down there. Cross our fingers. Well, We're actually going to put our fingers in our pockets because it's proper bitey cold. Oh, certainly that one. Definite edge to this wind. Now we get some rattles already. Oh, well, look. Oh, how on earth did I miss that? How did I miss that? Well, I can't get another bite on bread, so I just thought I'd try worm before I move on. Can't believe I missed that bite. I'm getting some knocks already, but very small fish knocks. It's getting dark. Unfortunately, this rod hasn't got a white tip on it. Oh, hello. Current, or is it fish? Current, I think. Something. Strange one. I think it is a fish. It is. Well, that was a very strange bite. Well, it was a current at first. Didn't feel particularly big. A good scrap in the current. That's a nice one, actually. Come on. In you come. Oh, that's a cracker. Well, wonderful stuff. I say it doesn't take very long usually when you in the Roach swim. I thought, such a current through here. I thought the feeder had moved first off. It was just a very gentle sort of. I thought, oh, the feeder's moving, and then no, it's not. That's a cracking fish for a small river. Well, how's about that in the evening sunlight? Well, late afternoon sunlight, I should say. Wonderful stuff. A cracking fish. Beautiful. Right, I'm going to keep him in the net in the edge here. We'll just give it another 5 minutes, just see if he's not down there with his mate. See if we can catch your mate. Put your foot on the net for 5 minutes. That was such a quick bite, we may well be able to sneak another one out, who knows. Well, I've never fished this swim before. I didn't really know it's here. I usually fish this river at this level though, to be honest. A bit lower than what I usually fish it. Right. Let's just see on the very narrow off chance that there's another one in here that we haven't scared. Cool, it's proper getting dark now. I've got a torch with me though, so we can fish into dark if we want. I think start working back up the stretch after this swim. Wind's dropped a bit, as it tends to do in the evening. Fortunately. Still spitting with the rain, and the temperature's plummeted as well. I didn't put a coat on today because I find them so restrictive, but I wish I'd got it on really. I've got two hoodies on instead. Well, there's nothing going on there. I think we'll get this fella back and then we'll crack on. No, nothing doing that. I don't want to keep him in this landing net. As I say, it's not my big landing net really. Bigger landing net. It's not particularly deep mesh. I mean, it's decent size, 18, 20 inch, whatever they are. But, yeah, it's just not the not very deep mesh in it. It's more of a sort of silverfish landing net really. So it's not really fair to keep him in there. And we'll let him out. Oh mate, off you go. Let's swim back in the net. Come on. What are you doing? Go on. There it goes. Well, nothing doing that. I think we'll try one more swim before we call it a day, just a bit further upstream. I think we'll do this swim, possibly one more on the way up. I really do think today all the bites have been within literally a few minutes of casting in. I think where we've dropped it on a fish, on their nose, we've got a bite, and when we haven't, they're just not interested. So hopefully there's one in here. There we go. What's this? Very funny little pulling. It's a roach. I think it's roach. Looks like a reasonable roach as well. Wow. Well, that's nice. Well, it's just got dark, as you can see, and it's a funny little bite, and there you go. No monster, but it's all information for next time. Perhaps when we come out doing a bit of trotting, it'd be lovely to have these on the float. I guess he's not down there on his own. We'll get him back in the water so we can catch another one. He's a bigger brother. Right, nothing doing. Time for a move. one last move. Well, we had a bite. Funny sort of little messing about with it bite, with the bait bite, but a bite nonetheless. There we go. And that's his job. Certainly feels like one. What's going on? Well, oh blimey. Never ledgered in here before, but it did always look good for a chub. Oh, he's a nice fish. That's a nice chub. Wow. Fab. Well, that's wonderful. I was just sitting there thinking, it's properly dark, I need to go home. Well, there we are. Lovely chub to finish up with. Fantastic. As I said, I was just sitting there thinking, I need to go home. It's dark now. And we've just had this fella. So yeah, we're going to get him back and then we're going to call it a day. Wonderful. Well, that session turned out okay in the end. Had a few fish. Was tricky going, but you know, relatively cold water. It's never going to be easy, but that sun going in and out didn't help either. But it's quite a nice evening now. It's very cold, but the wind's dropped, which is very nice. But yeah, I'll be glad to get back in the house. I have to say, it's my nose and my hands are very cold. Now I'm going to plan on getting out, or I am planning on getting out this week, in the week at some point. Obviously, work permitting. I've got to work during the day, but I can get out sort of late afternoon. So hopefully we can get out in the week and do a little bit. Not sure what. We'll have to just suss out the weather forecast and suss out the most appropriate type of fishing and type of species to target. But for now, thank you very much for watching. Really hope you enjoyed that. Tight lines, enjoy your own angling. Many thanks to the fantastic channel patrons for your wonderful support, and I'll see you all again very soon.